Hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington, you guys.
First of all, thank you all for being here as well. My name is Rachel Curtis. I'm an adult programming coordinator. Kathryn Kauffman. Miss Kathryn Kauffman, all the way from Lexington, joining us here tonight.
So, my name is Kathryn Kauffman, and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to my every Monday night show. This is where we discover what and who we are in this journey called life. I am coming to you live from Eastern Kentucky in the little town of Mousy tonight. My mother-in-law had her other eye surgery done, and David and I are hanging out with her for a couple of days, and I'll be back to Lexington tomorrow. So good to see you guys here on a Monday night. Special shout out on Instagram to my Monday night pal, Miss Joy Hall, KYGS Ryder. Good to see you guys. Let me do a couple waves to y'all. Hey to Paige Denise over here on Facebook. Good to see you. I'm doing this remotely. I don't know how the feed is going to go. And so we'll just have to see. Hey to Judy Burkett Roberts, Dana Likens Fleener. Let's do some waves to you guys. And if I miss any questions, I promise you I'll get to them after the show, because I don't know the stability of the feed and how it's going to go out here in the mountains. I do have a little bit of a light because the sun is going down, and I don't know how well my light is charged up either. So this is just going to be a fly by the seat of my pants. Shout out to Sandra Buchanan Clemens. So far so good for sound and video. Awesome, because I'm using a new microphone tonight, and so I'm kind of wondering about the sound. Now that won't affect you guys over here on Instagram because the microphone's hooked up to the Facebook feed. And I just realized for the people that are on the professional page that I did not leave a link to the video here, so don't like that. I forgot that. Hey to Jessica Consalvi, good to see you. Yes, I can see the comments. Yes, absolutely. The only thing, Jessica, I can't do is I can't scroll back very well because the feed is kind of questionable out here in the mountains. Like if the comment goes by, I may not be able to scroll back to it. Hey to Barbara B. Bacon, good to see you. And Mitzi Tribble, awesome to see you guys. So, tonight is open dream interpretation. I already have several dreams that were submitted anonymously on Messenger, and I've written them down, and I've got an interpretation for you guys for this. So we'll just go ahead and get started. And if you guys on Facebook or Instagram have something you want to interpret, put it in the comment section, and I will see if I can get to it. If I can't grab it while the feed is going, I definitely will get to it afterwards, and I will direct message you what I got for the interpretation, in case, you know, some of it's a little sensitive and you don't want it broadcast to everybody. Okay, so let's jump into the first one. So, yes, Jessica, you are on the actual live. Awesome. Good to see you here. And as a matter of fact, if you guys enjoy these Monday night shows, go ahead and hit the share button on your screen and share this out in your newsfeed. That really helps the show out quite a bit. When you share it, that kind of puts it out there for other people to discover it and to follow along and get the benefit out of the show. Hey to Sam and Paula Bolin, good to see you. Let's see if I can, yes. I accomplished that. I waved. Okay. So the first dream that was submitted, and the reason why I'm doing the open dream interpretation is when I'm on the road and I'm doing stuff like this, there's really not enough time to do a full show and do all the research and all that kind of stuff. And you guys really enjoy having your dreams interpreted and finding out, you know, what the hidden meanings are, what the psychic meanings are. And so what I figured was that we would just take these opportunities instead of canceling the show and not having anything at all. When I'm really busy, we would try to do a remote show and do the dream interpretation. That's why it's easier on me. And it's also nice for you to be able to get a free dream interpretation as well. Hey to Debbie, David Bruner. And yes, it's good to see you, Jessica. All right, awesome. And hey to Rainy Ann over here on Instagram. Good to see you. Yes, I was able to accomplish that. Okay, off to the first dream. So the first dream, the person is female, and they submitted this dream, and they're in a large home, but they're not inside their home. They're actually on the grounds of the home. This dream was very, very interesting. Hey to Taya Moore. And so they were on the outside of the grounds of the home, but it's a very large home. And for some reason, they felt like they had an appointment inside for a procedure to be done, either on the heart or the solar plexus. And so they go in, the inside is very dark. There's another man that is inside the home, and they are exiting. And evidently she had the feeling that this person had the procedure done that she was scheduled for, and he passes her, and she can see a circular device with 3 triangles, green and white, on the outside of his body. And then he disappears. Now this is significant because I don't know exactly where the circle is. Is it one circle? I don't know if it's one circle or if it's several circles, what location of the body they're on, because that's kind of significant. So I'm just going to do like a general read on this. So then he disappears. Then she's told to lay down on a gurney, and the gurney is got blood stains on it, and that really kind of grosses her out when she looks at it. So then after the encounter with the gurney and the blood-stained sheets, she looks up out of a window and notices that it's winter outside, which is probably confusing for her now because, you know, we're in the middle of summer. So that must have been a little confusing, like, why is it winter outside? And notices that there's a camera filming, and wondering why that there's a camera filming. So let's go into the interpretation for that. And this, again, I don't have a lot of details, so I can't be really hugely specific on this. But the large home is obviously not hers because it doesn't, she's at first not in the home, and it's has sort of a little bit of an apprehensive feel to it. So this is a different location, a different focus. Usually homes, if you're visualizing yourself inside a home, that kind of represents the environment around you, or maybe even you encapsulated by the home. And so the home is not hers, and it does have a little bit of a anxiety attached to it. Now, she has this feeling that she's scheduled for a procedure inside. So what her subconscious is telling her is that there's some kind of action, or there's some kind of something that needs done, and there may be a problem that she needs to be aware of. Okay, let me check for questions over here on Instagram. Hey to Jennifer Kavanaugh, Alicia Gracida, and Greta Hanshoe. Good to see you guys. And you're going to hear a lot of peeling out and ruckus in the background because I think there's some neighbors that aren't quite happy tonight. So, you know, they should have been doing this on Saturday night or Friday night instead of on a Monday. Hey to Pam Branson. Good to see you. Okay, so back to the dream. So she's supposed to have a procedure on her heart, or her solar plexus. And those are the main chakras that deal with the world. Your heart gets affected a lot by what's going on around you. And right now, so does your solar plexus, because the seat of the will and the power is the solar plexus. And there's so much going on right now that we don't have control over. We don't have an ability to control or keep calm or keep stable, and things keep changing and the instability keeps rising. And so that really affects our solar plexuses. And so what I think her subconscious is telling her is that there are things that are affecting her heart, and there are things that are going on that are affecting her ability to feel comfortable and stable, and maybe even her personal power has been affected. And things like coping mechanisms, alternative coping mechanisms need to be employed to deal with these additional things that are going on. And so now, getting back to the dream, she sees a man who's had the procedure done, and he's exiting. Now, he has some kind of circular device. We don't know where it is on the body, but it has 3 triangles, green and white. I don't know the context. Was the circle white or the triangles green? I'm not sure about that, because that really has significance. I mean, every little detail that your subconscious shows you has a great significance. So, the circles have to do with all-encompassing totality or wholeness. And the triangles have to do with stability, which is kind of what we were talking about, lack of stability. If the triangles were upright, what that means is there's an increase in stability. Or so what that would be her subconscious trying to tell her is that she needs to increase coping mechanisms to deal with stability. If the triangles were down with the point down, that indicates instability. And so that would be her subconscious calling to attention that this is the feeling that you need to deal with, or aspects of it. So back to the triangles, they're green and white, and I'm not sure how they're green and white, but that does have significance, but we don't know that. So green can mean one of 2 things. If green is taken in a positive light, let's say the triangles are pointing up and we're talking about stability, and we associate green with that, it might be rejuvenation, restoration, cleansing. If the triangles are pointed down and we're talking about instability, the greens may be more muddy colored or slimy colored, so we would indicate decay or rot. Now, but I really think the greens are trying to portray rejuvenation, cleansing, restoration, because there's white that is associated with them, and white is that spiritual purity, hope, those kinds of things. So I feel like that in all, the man was kind of representing the culmination of what would happen after the procedure. And the procedure may be things that need to be done in her life, maybe, other coping mechanisms, facing truths and realities, dealing with them head on. A lot of us, we're trying to stay positive. We're trying to stay focused on not attaching to any negative energy. But sometimes when we do that, we're not being honest and authentic. And then we feel really bad about being depressed or being hopeless for a day or 2, or even being angry about our lives being disrupted. And those feelings and emotions need validation, and they need to come out, and they need to be expressed, and they need to be dealt with in a proper way, in a way that is, it's a proper coping mechanism. And when we repress this stuff is when the subconscious says, hey, well, she's not dealing with this stuff, and so we have to send it to her in a dream in the hopes that, she deals with it, and she validates these negative feelings so that we can cleanse them out of the subconscious and go on. Now, a little bit more on the dream. Remember that he disappears, this other guy that has had the procedure, and she's told to lay on a gurney with blood-stained sheets, and she's really grossed out by that. Things that this could mean. One of the things that it can refer to is the blood of the lamb and the life essence. So those can be references to those. But I really feel for this particular dream, it means that for someone to go through this procedure, for someone to get to the other side of healing, there has to be some kind of sacrifice made. Like something has to be given up. Some kind of life essence or life force has to be spilled to get to the other side of healing for this. Let me know if you guys agree with that, and what do you think about it? What do you feel like it means? Let me see if I can get this feed to start going here. Hey, to Steve Reiki Murray, awesome to see you on here. And Katie Jordan, Richie Carolyn Gambrel, good to see you. Really good to see you, Richie. And I've been sending you prayers and strength for what you're going through. Waves out to Steve Hawkins and Laura Walters, Sheila Ray. I'm sending out prayers for your procedure coming up, and I hope everything goes well with that. Special shout out to Barbara Bacon and Crystal. Barbara, if you have any stone recommendations, any gemstone recommendations for dream work, maybe lucid dreaming, maybe dealing with dreams, that kind of thing, please put them in the comments for us, because I'm sure our watchers would love to know what kind of gemstones or crystals to work with. Shout out to Sheila Arthur and Charlotte Northcutt. So Charlotte says, when I see a man peeling off, I always want to ask him if that makes him feel better about his tiny little, well, this is a family show, Charlotte. I can't say that. Well, anyway, back to this anonymous dream. I think it's really urging the person to do some work on the negative stuff that may have been suppressed, because, we feel trapped right now in a whole lot of negative stuff that is going on. And really, it's just, this is just my personal feeling, but I just feel like that there has been a release of an evil force, and it is really running rampant, and a lot of people are allowing it to take control of their thoughts and their emotions and feelings right now. And you really have to check, to make sure that you're doing the right thing and you're not justifying something that may be evil or negative. So Jessica says, if I'm waking up from a dream, in my dream, and I think I'm awake, I have real interaction and conversation with past loved ones, then wake up again for real. Is this astral projection? That is what we call a visitation. Visitations are real visits from spirit in the dreamscape, because spirits specifically use theta wave of your brainwave state to communicate with. And theta wave is part of your dream brainwaves. It's also deep trance-like meditation. So, Jessica, if you really practice specifically theta wave meditations, you will be able to have more visitations with your loved ones. But those are not dreams; those are real. And that's the reason why you can actually talk to people who've passed on. You can touch them and interact with them. And it is a type of astral projection, because what's happening is both of the etheric bodies are conjoining in the same space, and they're able to interact. So it's sort of like practicing for the afterlife. And the more that you can prepare and do that, the more benefit you definitely will get. I hope that explains things. Okay, let's see. Hey to Pamela Downey. And thank you, Mark. Awesome to see you on here. He is feeling better. David got a hold of some bad oysters. And we came down here to take care of them all, but I ended up kind of watching both of them sick. So, but everybody's better tonight. Everybody's good. So we're awesome. Hey to Carla Smith. Awesome to see you guys. Let me make sure there's no questions. Hey to Rob Abbott. Good to see you. Rachel Moore and Jen McGee. Yes, Jessica, you can definitely, it's very tactile, and you are definitely feeling them in those visitations. You're definitely hugging them. So, you know, the more of those that you can be proficient at, the better that, you know, your communication is going to be with them, and the better that you're going to feel about the afterlife, and maybe it won't be so scary then. Okay, on to the next dream that was submitted anonymously on Messenger. And two, you know, you don't have to submit these right before the show. If at any time you have a weird dream and you want to message me that, I just copy and paste it and save it for the shows. So anytime you have a dream that you want to have addressed on any of the shows, go ahead and message me, and I will save that for successive shows, because we're going to do these dream interpretations probably once a month, because people really enjoy, you know, knowing what their dreams are. Hey to Barbara Miller. Right. Yes, anytime you want to submit a dream. Okay. The next one is, this is a female, and she's in a car with 2 or 3 other women, and they're looking at things outside are starting to feel stormy. Now, remember I said that anytime you have a dream about like a house or a car, that kind of represents yourself. And so really you have to look at what's the condition of the house, what's the condition of the car. I don't know those details for this dream, although there are several other people there with her, which means that there's close connections with other people, and she feels a part of a group. They do notice that the wind's getting stronger and stronger while they're in the car, and so they stop at a house. And that indicates kind of trying to seek refuge or trying to prepare. So mentally, the person is trying to prepare or seek some kind of refuge. They notice that there's a man, woman, and a little girl already living in the house. And they look out the window. Actually, so when she says she looks out the window, I'm assuming that they've gone into the house. And so she's taking part in somebody else's subconscious at this point. Now, they look out the window and they see that there's a tornado coming. And there's a bright light around the tornado that is highlighting it. And so what the subconscious is saying at this point is, you can see trouble coming, and you know that trouble is coming. And so the subconscious is highlighting that tornado, making sure that she knows that things are not going to be good. Things are going to be bad for a while. And so they all go into the basement. However, the man didn't make it into the basement. So what I feel like this means is it's addressing humanity. And the man makes it through the tornado, but he has cuts and scratches on his body after they find him the next day or after the tornado is over. And so what I feel like is that humanity is going through this tornado right now. Like I said, things are unstable. Things are in an uproar. Evil is loose. Humanity is going to make it through this, but it's going to leave its marks on people. And I think that that's what the subconscious has been trying to tell her, is that humanity is going to make it, but it is going to be damaged. Then her dream changes, and they're walking down a concrete path. Okay, that's significant because it's concrete paths are really hard. They're not forgiving. They're not giving. It's not natural. And so that has an indication of things are going to be hard. Things are going to be difficult. However, on one side of the concrete path, she sees an ocean, bright, clear, positive type of connotations, goldfish, that kind of thing. And on the other side of the path, there's thick trees, kind of a jungle-like appearance, things watching her, a tiger in there, and horses. And what those subconscious indicators are all of, you could possibly be a victim, you might be attacked. It's a tangled mess in this jungle. Horses always indicate power. And so, there are powerful forces that are in control of things. They may be corrupt, they may be evil, and we may be the recipients of a lot of that. And so the subconscious is saying, look, there's division, there's possibility of trap, there's possibility of attack, but on the other side of things, there's this bright, clear ocean and goldfish and really positive connotations. So I think it's just the subconscious's way for her of trying to say, again, like the dream number one, these are things that we have to accept. We have to accept them, and we have to deal with the negative connotations that are going with everything, just to bring it out of repression. I feel like a lot of us, instead of trying to deal with this and say, okay, this is really happening, we've been trying to wait and see if this ends, and we've been trying to hang on and stay positive and just wait it out. And you know what? It's not ending. So we've got to bring all those negative things out of repression and start to deal with them constructively with our coping mechanisms. Now, I have a video on coping mechanisms. It's on the YouTube channel. And as always, I'm going to leave a link in the comments after the show so that you can go to the YouTube channel and watch any of the past episodes. Now, there was another dream on here I need to go back and grab. Okay, Kim Asher says, what can I do to remember dreams besides writing them down as soon as I wake? They seem to fade so fast. So, Kim, you need to practice dream recall. Dream recall, there are different ways to do that. And I'm just going to tell you the way that I learned and the way that worked for me is I didn't wait till I woke up to write them down, because so much of the dream was gone by then. What I did was I set my alarm for 2 a.m. and I put a pad of paper and a pen beside my bed. And let's say, for example, I was dreaming about a White House at the time that the alarm went off. I don't have to sit there and write everything out. I can just put WH on that pad of paper. And then the next day, when I saw those initials on there, that triggered recall for the whole dream. And so you have to do that consistently. Let me go back and see. There was another dream on here. Let me make sure. Okay, that was Rob's dream. Rob says he dreamed of a car wreck and remembered the rain and the paramedics on the side of the road. Thought it was pertaining to family when they had an accident. Then I was in a fender bender with hydroplaning. Oh, wait a minute. I got to open this up and it won't open. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to see the rest pertaining to family, and then I was in a fender bender with hydroplane, foresight, precognition. Now, that can be a past life, Rob. Absolutely could be. It can be precognition or a past life. It sounds pretty technical, so I think it's a memory. But the thing about that is, as we know now, time is not linear like we would think it is. But it's more location and time-space continuum. And so when you are kind of in tune with your abilities, you can pick up on locations in space-time and, grab these bits of information. So if it's precognition, it's already happened. If it's a past life memory, again, it's already happened. It's just a location. So I would need a little bit more details about the dream, and you can message those to me, like, did you notice any style of cars, or anything unusual about the paramedics? Was it from a past time linearly, or were there things about it that make you think that it's in the future? So maybe a little bit more detail could give us, we can unlock whether or not it is precognition or past life. Hey to Rosa Patrick, Lorena Nunn, Dawn Varela, and Lee Wiggins. Good to see you. All right, I'm checking Instagram for any additional questions, and there aren't any. We have a couple more tonight. I hope you guys can hang out with me. So this one was interesting. It's a short dream, but this person, they're female, was dreaming about the sun shining bright, and then it turned red, and the moon was in the sky next to the sun, and the moon was big and very bright. The sun started to dim, and then it started to snow big, heavy flakes. But the thing that threw her off was that, her consciousness realized that she's dreaming in July. Why would it be snowing? Kind of like the other person looking out the window and seeing winter. So anytime that it's summer and you're seeing winter and it's confusing, it can relate to, these are icy truths or cold truths that we have to deal with. And so, the consciousness is confused by the winter connotations. But the thing that really struck me about this dream is that there's something that is overcoming a sunny period in this person's life, because the sun is turning dark, is turning red, and then it's turning into the moon. And so what we have is the subconscious is really calling for some kind of balance in that person's life, like hot, cold, sun, moon, yin, yang. It really has those connotations. But it's also trying to draw attention to the fact that there are some really cold, hard truths that she needs to, accept and deal with. Because remember, when we repress things, I'm trying to get the bugs away from me. When we repress stuff, it goes out of our control, and it just sits there brewing, and it can cause a lot of trouble later on. And so when we repress things or we try to put them out of our mind, that's when the subconscious will bring them up in a dream and go, hey, don't forget about this. You need to constructively deal with it. So Lee says, my father passed away, and about a couple weeks later I had a dream I was calling him, but he wouldn't answer. Finally, because it took so long for him to answer. He said he was okay, and then I felt a hard grab, pinch on my hand. It was so weird. I'll never forget the feeling of that. Okay, so that was a visitation, Lee. Now, your connection is not real strong, which means that you need to do some theta wave meditations to connect better. The theta wave, brain wave signal, is what actually connects with your loved ones on the other side. And if your brain doesn't stay in that brainwave long enough while you're asleep, you can't get a really good visitation. And so, hence the ring, 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 and no one's answering. So, try to go onto YouTube and get some theta wave meditations, THETA, and I'll leave one in the link that I like to use. I'll leave one in the comments after the show. But you want to wear earbuds when you use these meditations, and you want to do it like a half an hour before you go to bed. Now, the pinch on the hand was an indicator that that was real. It wasn't just a dream, and that you needed to pay attention that this was a real occurrence. This wasn't a dream. It is a real visitation. So it's, their way of kind of slapping you and saying, hey, this is not just a dream. This is something real. So hope that helps you. And probably because you guys have so many questions about visitations, I do have an old video on my YouTube channel about visitations, but maybe we need to revisit that and do another video, like an updated one. So if you guys like that idea, please let me know in the comments if you want to see something like that on a Monday night. So hey to Sarah And Susie, awesome to see you guys. This feed is terrible here. Hey to Scott Webb, awesome to see you. Yeah, do let me know if y'all want another updated video on visitations and how they're different from dreams and what visitations mean. So we got one more dream I need to go over with you guys, and then we're going to call it an evening. So this person is female, and they were dreaming that they were sitting in a car, and their friend is in the driver's seat, and they're in the passenger seat, and a storm comes. And the person in the passenger seat is the person relaying the dream to me. So she looks straight forward and sees a massive tree that's blown down on their car that they're sitting in. It comes through the windshield and hits her friend, but her friend is okay. And outside there were small tornadoes that they could see moving a lime green truck, and then a small one that picked up people. Now, here's what I think this dream means is, again, it's the world in an uproar. It's tornadoes. It's this upheaval in society and people. And they're in the car. They're in the safety of the car, which, you know, kind of indicates their self. The car indicates their self, but she is in the car with a friend of hers. And so what that means is she's sharing some kind of life connection or life force with her friend, and there's a real strong connection there. And so when the tree comes in and hits the car, what that means is there could be something bad going on with her friend that's coming from her friend's family. So something within the family is going to hit, because trees indicate, you know, family tree, family life, family roots, those kind of things. And so there could be something going on in the friend's family that can be destructive or possibly hurt her friend. And the fact that there's a lime green truck, that kind of means that any kind of restoration or rejuvenation is being, like, anytime you try to restore things, or you try to refresh things, or you try to restart again, and it just gets picked up and thrown around by what's going on in the world. And those are feelings that she has, is just, you know, every time I try to refresh or rejuvenate, restart, and I think things are okay, it just gets tossed around by what's going on in the world. And so I think that the subconscious is trying to deal with all of these things that are going on. And, you know, talking to her friend and sharing concerns and information is one of the ways that we know we deal with and we cope with things. And so, you know, that's a good thing that we use talking to people that are friends of ours. So Kim says, oh yes, can we do one on visitation? Yes, gifts and signs. Now, Kim, go to the YouTube channel, because we just did a video, it's probably 3 weeks ago, I think, on signs from the dead. What are signs and symbols from the dead? And so that's a relatively new one. The YouTube channel is just type in Kathryn Kauffman, Kauffman. Again, I'll leave the link in the comments to the YouTube channel. But there's a lot of really good YouTube shows that have just been done on there. As a matter of fact, we just ended a 2-part series on Don't Buy a Haunted House. Hey to Jennifer Hope Crawford. Awesome to see you guys here. Again, these Monday night shows, if you enjoy them, go ahead and hit the share button on your screen right now and share this out in your newsfeed. They're every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the live stream on Facebook and on Instagram. And I save the shows and edit them and put them on the YouTube channel for everybody to enjoy and answer their questions later. And that's the whole purpose, is when people have questions, I can't really get everything addressed in the 60 minutes that we have for our sessions. And so if people have further questions, all they have to do is go on to the YouTube channel, and they still get all their answers right there, because all this stuff is saved just for you guys. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. I will see you this Friday for the free 3-card reading on my Facebook and Instagram pages. And so if you need some inspiration, if you're feeling down, you need that kick to keep going, tune in for that free 3-card reading on Fridays on my pages and enjoy that. It's to help you guys get through the week, because sometimes, and especially right now, we all need some help, right? Okay, kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you guys next week.